Hey guys, we are looking at lesson in module 14, which is talking about unit fractions to describe area. So let's review. A unit fraction is any fraction that has a 1 in the numerator. Denominator doesn't matter, but the numerator has to be 1. So 1/4, 1/6, 1/8, any of those would be a unit fraction. So any fraction with 1 in the numerator is a unit fraction. And area, remember, is the amount of space an object takes up. So area is talking about the inside part of a shape or object. So Rex plans to divide this hexagonal shaped pool, remember hexagonal, that would be 6-sided, into 6 equal parts and paint one of the parts green. What unit fraction of the pool should Rex paint? So first of all, we've got to take this hexagon and split it up into 6 pieces. The easiest way to do that is this. Take your pencil, divide it in half going across this way, and then go diagonally from corner to corner to make an X. Here's one side of the X, here's the other side of the X, while passing right through the center. And then pick one, doesn't matter which one, and that's the one that's going to be green. Now, I'm not going to whip out the crayons, but I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to put a G for green, and then I can lightly shade. Don't want to shade it too dark because I want to see that G in there. Okay? So, I have picked one of the 6 pieces. So, I have described the area that is shaded in a unit fraction. Why? Because there is a 1 in the numerator, and that makes it a unit fraction. And that's all there is to that. All right, whenever you're ready, turn the page and let's look at a few more questions. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need to. Then, we have an octagon-shaped pool. Oh, no, take that back, not a pool. We're doing a rug this time. He wants to divide the rug into 8 parts that each have an equal area. How can you write the area of each part as a unit fraction of the whole? All right, same kind of thing. So we're going to take this and let's make this into 8 equal parts. So to do that, we're going to start right here at this corner and go straight up to this corner like so. Then we're going to take this corner and we're going to go straight down, passing through the center to go here. So we've made a big skinny X. And then we're going to do a sideways X. So here, pass through the center, go here. Start here, go through the center, and go down there. So now we have 8 equal pieces. So that's how he should divide the rug on the left, right here. Now the next thing is to divide it into 2 equal parts. Now this one's a little bit tricky because this is not a shape we normally divide into 2 equal pieces. But if we go from this point, and that is called a vertex, it's where 2 lines come together to form a corner or a point. So we'll start this vertex and we're going to go diagonally across to here. Now we have 2 equal pieces. Okay? Or 2 equal parts here. All right, let's look at our questions. How can you show the parts of your octagon are equal in area? Now what they're wanting you to know is this. Let me see if I can find a piece of paper here. What they're showing you is you could do this to check your work. You can't necessarily do this on map testing or statewide testing because you're going to be doing it on the computer, so it would be hard to do. But I'm going to take this piece right here, for example. I'm going to make these lines just a little bit darker. You don't have to do this, just watch. I'm going to just make them a little bit darker so that when I put my paper, put my paper on top of this, and I trace what I just darkened in. I don't know if, let me zoom in, see if you can see that a little better. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look real carefully, you can see. And what they're saying you can do is you can take that and lay it over a different piece and see if it matches. And in that case, it matches. And then you could go on around and those would match those. This piece would match those others. So you know it's equal in area. So you could possibly take scissors and cut that little wedge out and lay it around there. That would work too. So this is a little simple thing called trace, cut, and I'll give you a second. So you can trace it, cut it, and see if it fits. Or trace, cut, and compare. Those would all work. What is the area of each equal part written as a unit fraction? Remember, what does unit fraction mean? What do you have to have in the numerator? That's right, 1. So if we're talking about 1 of the 8 pieces, then it would be 1/8, like so. Okay. Then it says, we went ahead and did that because it told us to. If we divide it into 2 equal parts, that's what we did right there. And if we wrote that as a unit fraction, if we took one of these pieces out of 2, that would be 1/2. You wouldn't say 1/2. It's 1/2 is how you would read that. Okay. Pause it if you need to. If not, we're going to move on to Meg and her circle-shaped rug that you see there is divided into equal parts. And find the denominator. How many equal parts are in the whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 equal parts in that whole thing. And if we're only talking about 1, we're only counting 1 of those parts if we're doing a unit fraction. Okay? So that means the fraction, unit fraction would be, we're talking about 1 of 6. So that would be 1/6 would be your unit fraction. Okay? Now, that was a pretty short little lesson. What you're going to do is you're going to follow directions, like this one says divided into 2 equal areas. This one is 3. I'll give you a little helpful hint on this. With a triangle, start at a vertice. In this case, I'm going to start at the top and draw a line straight down. And that gives you 2 equal parts. Now, you could also start here and go straight across, or here and go straight across that way. But the easiest way is probably start here and go straight down, and you've got 2 equal pieces. So I'll give you a little hint on that one. Then on the back side, I think you can do all those. So you only have 5 questions. So at this point, you're going to pause the video. You're going to work on your 5 questions. I'm going to work on my 5 questions. And then when you get ready, hit play and we'll check your work. Okay? So you work on yours and I'll work on mine, and I'll see you in just a few minutes. Pause that video. Okay, if you're ready, we'll go over the answers. If you're not ready, pause that video again and then start it back up when you are ready. All right, we're going to go over. If you divide that triangle into 2 equal parts, what unit fraction names the equal part of the shape? 1/2. So we're talking about 1 out of 2, so that's 1/2. Then if you take this rectangle, divide it into 3 equal parts, you're talking about 1 of 3, so that's 1/3. Remember, unit fraction has what as the numerator? That's right, has a 1 in the numerator. 1 in the numerator, 1 in the numerator. Okay, turn the page. Let's look at the back side. Here we have a pattern going on. They are shading 4 fraction circles. Name the unit fraction that matches the shaded part that is blue. So this is 1/2. This is 1 out of 4, so it's 1/4. This is 1 out of 6, so that's 1/6. And this is 1 out of 8, which is 1/8. What's the pattern? Well, the denominator increases by 2 each time. Now, you don't have to have those exact same words, but you should have something very similar. You should be saying something because 1 in the numerator never changed. The only thing that changed was the denominator. And we're going 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's increasing by 2. You could have said they're counting by 2 in the denominator, and that would be fine too. It would mean the same thing. So you should have something telling me that that denominator is increasing by 2 each time. Number 4, now this little guy took this shape, and it's kind of hard to see on mine, but this one right here is shaded green. Now the question is, did he color 1/6 of the square green? He says he did. Is he correct? No, he's not. What's the big problem? Look at this space and look at this space. What do you notice? That's right. All those are not equal. Because they're not equal, he didn't shade in 1/6. Because remember, number 1 rule of fractions is if you have a shape that's divided into sections or divided into spaces, all those spaces have to be the same size for fractions to work. And that's what's going on here. This space and this space is much bigger than these spaces. You would have to combine 2 of these spaces to make that one. So that's why this doesn't work. So no, he did not shade in 1/6 because the spaces aren't equal. Then at the bottom, you have, looks like the part of a spinner here with different little sections. They recorded some data here. And what fraction of the game board counts for a double? Well, there's only one double out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total sections, so that will be 1/8. Then, which is more likely, a home run or a strikeout? Well, here's a home run. Here's strikeout right here. So there's only one of each of those, and they're both 1/8, so neither. There's not a more likely part because they're both 1/8. Okay? All right, you're going to work on your ed assignment. If you need a few minutes to finish copying or changing your answers, if you miss something, fix it. That's important. And work really hard on your ed assignment, and I'll see you later.